Donald Trump and Ted Cruz are at war. It actually started happening earlier when Ted Cruz started gaining in the polls. But it really sort of came to a head during this moment in last week's debate, where Cruz went after Trump on his New York values. Watch.
Everyone understands that the values in New York City are socially liberal or pro-abortion or pro-gay marriage, focus around money and the media. And I would note, indeed, the reason I said that is I was asked, my friend Donald has taken to at his events playing Bruce Springsteen's Born in the USA. And I was asked what I thought of that, and I said, well, if he wanted to play a song, maybe he could play New York, New York. And you know, the concept of New York values is not that complicated to figure out. Not too many years ago, Donald did a long interview with Tim Russert. And in that interview, he explained his views on a whole host of issues that were very, very different from the views he's describing now. And his explanation, he said, look, I'm from New York. That's what we believe in New York. Those aren't Iowa values, but this is what we believe in New York. And so that was his explanation. And I guess I can frame it another way. Not a lot of conservatives come out of Manhattan. I'm just saying.
So basically, Ted Cruz is saying, Donald Trump, you're no conservative. I know conservatives. You're not a conservative. That's quite an attack. Now, of course, Donald Trump is not going to be very happy with that attack. So he's going to go on ABC's This Week with George Stephanopoulos. And here's what he had to say about the esteemed senator from Texas.
Look, the truth is he's a nasty guy. He was so nice to me. I mean, I knew it. I was watching. I kept saying, come on, Ted, let's go, kid. But he's a nasty guy. Nobody likes him. Nobody in Congress likes him. Nobody likes him anywhere once they get to know him. He's a very, he's got an edge that's not good. You can't make deals with people like that, and it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing for the country. Very nasty guy.
Damn. Trump was not pulling any punches. Very nasty guy. What a nasty guy. It's almost as if he's explaining himself. Now, the truth is, both Trump and Cruz are both pretty nasty guys. Okay? They both have a lot in common. They're both disliked by the establishment. Now, of course, in this year's election, that goes as a positive. And hey, look, I'm not exactly a fan of the establishment. That's why I'm a Bernie Sanders guy. But nonetheless, they're both disliked by the party establishment. They're both disliked by senators in Congress. They're both very extreme in their views. And they're both very good at doing very nasty attacks. And this is Trump basically receiving what he gives out to other people. See, Ted Cruz, I've said this before, he's the snake in the grass. He's the guy that if you step on him, he's going to bite your ankle. Well, that's exactly what he's doing to Donald Trump. All this attack about New York values, I think it's a very, I think it'll be an effective attack. Because look at what he's saying with conservatives. Well, if you're from New York, well, you're all about money. Basically, anti-establishment, right? You're all about the media. Well, the media is supposedly super liberal, which we all know it's not. But in conservative circles, they look at the media and go, obviously, media is super liberal. They're all in New York. They have New York values. So, of course, it's an effective line against Trump. And Trump, let's be honest, he has said some not so conservative things in the past. He's flip-flopped on a lot of issues. He used to be pro-choice, now he considers himself pro-life. We don't know if he's true. We don't really know where he stands on these issues. I don't know. Because Trump is an actor. I don't think he's a genuine guy. And it's because he's an entertainer. He says whatever it is to get attention, and he's good at it. So whether or not he's genuine is a real issue. And here's Ted Cruz trying to capitalize on that and say, he's got New York values. He's pro-abortion. He's pro-gay marriage, because you know how much we hate them gays. You know, we don't like the gay here in Iowa, which is not exactly true. gay marriage is actually pretty popular all over America. I'm just saying. So, or at the very least, people actually don't care and don't think it's a big enough issue to make a big deal about it. Like what Ted Cruz and a lot of the more religious right tends to make of it. But still, those attacks might be successful. Whether or not they'll bring down Trump, we're not sure. But certainly Ted Cruz has been rising in the polls, regardless. And he is sort of a threat to Donald Trump. Not huge yet, but he could be. If Ted Cruz wins in Iowa and New Hampshire, now Iowa's kind of a given. If you win Iowa, it doesn't mean you're going to win the race. I mean, Rick Santorum won Iowa. Come on, right? He didn't really surge after that. But nonetheless, if Ted Cruz can paint Donald Trump as the liberal New Yorker establishment that is not exactly, that doesn't jive with conservative values, it would be an effective attack. We'll have to see how well it pans out and how much fluidity there is when it comes to Donald Trump supporters versus Ted Cruz supporters. Because I see those as essentially the same base. Where one flees or leaves the race, drops out, I could see supporters going from Trump to Cruz, Cruz to Trump. So once again, this is very interesting how this is going to play out. But I'm also very entertained in the fact that these two are now openly attacking each other, which is what I knew was going to happen. I called it a long time ago, figured it was going to happen, and I figured it was going to be very nasty, and that it was time to get your popcorn.